All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Late Night Shots Podcast, episode 95. Today we have here All-American for Penn, CJ Composto. So how you doing?
Chilling, just vibe. Sunday.
All right, let's get it. So before we get into the podcast, Derek has a word from our sponsor.
All right, as everybody knows, we are sponsored by Body Art Nutrition, a great supplement company out of Minnesota. You could use the link in the description below to shop. You could use code HWTN20 at checkout to save 20% off.
Okay, yeah, so we get into it. So obviously a big year for you. I think this was your first national tournament, I want to say.
Yep. Yeah.
So All-American status. So how's it feel?
How's it feel? The first year, how'd it feel, or the tournament?
Just, I don't know, man. Just in general, like, what are your thoughts on it?
It's pretty cool. It's a little bit weird. Like a lot of people just saying, congrats, like a lot of love. But then it's also on the other side of that, it's like, got 8th place. There was a lot of room for improvement. So like, it's a little bit weird, like all these like compliments and like people talking when, I'm like, probably could have, maybe been a little higher up on that podium. So it's like, it's just like a weird dynamic where like, you got a lot of people proud of you, but I still think I could have maybe, had a better tournament. So
yeah. So coming into the season, like what were your goals in your first year?
Yeah, my goal is All-American was not one of my goals. I think I had, make the starting lineup was one of my goals. Top 4 at the IWA tournament was one of my goals. And place at Midlands was one of my goals. And then I think I just wrote on my goal sheet, gain experience at the national tournament. So yeah, I didn't even, that wasn't even one of my goals, or like national champ All-American. That wasn't one of my goals. And I really didn't think about that until my coaches kind of started to put it into my head. And I remember, we'll talk about this later, but, we trained with PRTC, Joey McKenna, Jordan Burroughs, Dave McFadden, Mark Hall, all those guys. And I remember Joey, I wrestled with him a lot, and he just started to be like, oh, like, bro, you're All-American this year. I'm like, really? Yeah. I don't really know about that, dude. And then he just kept saying it. And then, I started to believe it. So, credit to him for really putting that idea into my head, because that wasn't really something I thought that was possible, just like 4 months ago.
Yeah. So obviously, this is probably one of the biggest matches I want to say of your career so far, the blood rounds that I want to say versus Stevan Micic.
Yeah, Michigan.
Yeah, so a guy that just competed in Tokyo like a couple months ago. So what are you kind of thinking going into that match? You're like, I'm wrestling one of the best guys in the world. Obviously, it's a couple weight classes up. Then there was a bunch of talk about that, but he's still technique-wise like one of the best out there.
Yeah, I was really excited for that match because Stevan Micic, he was someone that I've looked up to for my entire career. I really like the way he wrestles, kind of European type of vibe. So he's someone I grew up like watching all the time. And I have a video on my phone from 2019 after Rutgers versus Michigan dual meet at Rutgers, and I'm screaming from the bleachers like, Micic, and then he like waves. And then I'm like, hey. So like the night, once I found out I was wrestling him, I was watching that match, and I was just, proud of like how far it came. But yeah, credit to him. Like, he's been an inspiration for me. So that was a really cool moment, honestly. So
I think your bracket at 141 more than anything else was kind of like, I want to say got screwed up a bit. Ironman ended up forfeiting out of the tournament in the round of 16. Yeah. Then Rivera lost early. I think he bowed out for 3rd there. And then you have Keyshawn Clark making the finals. Obviously you hear about this stuff happening. You hear Iron going down, and you're stuck on the same size constellation bracket as he is. So after you're in the constellations, like, what are kind of your thoughts about, like, I'm going to have to get through this guy at All-American. I'm going to have to do through that. Like, what's the mindset you have kind of going into that?
Yeah, I knew that the match, I was gonna have the winner of Micic and Ironman, and I was like, I love that matchup because those some old guys that I've been watching wrestle, and that's something I could be excited for. Sometimes you wrestle these guys that, you're supposed to beat or whatever. But I looked at like those two guys and I was like, I really got nothing to lose here. So I was excited for that. And I also knew, I thought given that they're a little bit older, if you give them a reason to quit, then they wouldn't be able to go for the whole 7 minutes with me. So yeah, I was pretty excited when I saw that matchup just because I was like nothing to lose. So that was pretty cool.
So after you do make the podium, you take out Micic. What's kind of going through your head? Like, because I know some people are like, oh, okay, I gotta make this push all the way back to third, be like a Pat McKee on the backside. Some people was like, yeah, I placed, I have nothing left to prove. And you're a freshman, so like nobody's gonna look the other way if you just fall back to eighth. Nobody's really gonna care. Like, oh, he's a freshman All-American.
No, I wanted to go through that wrestle back. That's why even now it's like, I'm a little bit bummed of how to finish just because, you like odd numbers, you see like the All-American plaques and it's like when you see a fifth or a third or even, seventh too, like that takes some heart, to finish up like that. So yeah, it was kind of weird after like the blood round match, doing like these interviews or whatever. And like, everyone's coming up to me, dapping me up and stuff, but it's like, oh, we still got a tournament to wrestle in. So that was I think that was a good learning experience, going forward, just because, there was a lot of adrenaline after that Michigan match. And then, I had to wrestle Oregon State kid, in like an hour. So I think that was a good experience to have though, just going off such like the highest of highs. And that's like, you got to wrestle another match. So yeah, was that like answering your question?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So what was this like for you coming back to Penn? I believe you were Penn's first freshman All-American.
Technically, Michael Kolyoko, COVID All-American. Yep. So okay. He doesn't like to count it because obviously he's a beast, so he wants to go and earn at the tournament. But he was what they called it, the name or second team coaches. I don't know what you want to call it, but he got that.
Yeah.
So.
So we'll say Penn's first true freshman All-American, normal NCAA tournament, all that. So what was that like for you? Coming back to Penn, what was that like? Yeah,
so it was an interesting story just because, we didn't compete in the 2021 season, all the Ivies. So, we were kind of just practicing and training, getting better with no real nothing on the horizon. And I think that made our whole team just kind of mold ourselves to have this mindset of we don't train to win or to lose, we train to get better every single day. So I think at least I know myself and my teammates, the mindset of just, getting better every day, brick by brick. That's what we like to say. That's really helped us, also helps with, the anxiety that comes with competition, just because if you can surrender the outcome in a way and that you gave it your all, win or lose, you can be proud of what you did. So yeah, just focusing on getting better in the process. That's something that's helped me a lot with my wrestling.
Big thing that happened for you guys, talk about you training with Penn RTC. I think more specifically for you, Joey McKenna coming in, obviously there's Jordan Burroughs, Mark Hall, David McFadden. I want to say a couple other guys also, but, specific, what have they helped you with and the entire program?
Yeah. So, wrestling aside, they're just great mentors to have. So it's pretty awesome. I could go on and on about them and, what they've taught me, the values that they've kind of instilled in me from watching the way that they live their lives. It's just like some examples, Jordan Burroughs, he's bringing his kids to practice and his wife to practice, and that's really eye-opening to me because I think a lot of people or even with relationships and stuff like that, they think maybe these girls or whatever, it's distracting me from this stuff, or I got to focus on this. But I think looking at him, his family is what's a metaphor, if you got a car and a gas and a brake, it's a lot of people look at relationships as a brake, it's going to distract you, but it looks like he uses his family they better him. And like his wife pushes him in aspects that are going to make him better as a person and not hold him back. So that's been pretty like inspiring to me, just to see the way that, he keeps his family involved in his work. Cause I mean, at the end of the day, like wrestling is his job, it's his career. So it's pretty awesome to see that. And, I'm probably the closest out of the PRTC guys with Joey, just because, he's my weight. So I'm able to roll with him a lot. And just the way that he loves to like give back, it's pretty awesome to see, he's always wanted to help any and everyone who asked him. Anytime I text him, responds. Anytime I ask him to roll, he'll roll, watch my matches. He'll watch them. I mean, he just pours himself into other people, and like, it's pretty awesome to see. And he's helped me realize that, you can get more happiness in life by helping other people succeed as opposed to focused on yourself. So that's, those are just like two examples maybe of how those guys have helped me and, shaped me to become the person I am today. So it's pretty cool, honestly. It's just a different type of relationship. Like, we have our coaches, not that they're older or whatever, but like they're a little bit older, and these younger guys who are still competing alongside us. It's a really unique type of bond that you can create with them. So it's pretty cool.
I want to say Brandon Slay is one of the coaches there.
Yeah, so Coach Slay is the head coach of the
Yeah.
PRTC.
Okay, so obviously you've seen the Satia match a good amount of times.
Yeah.
Like, what are your overall thoughts on him as a head coach, and his legacy in general?
I think the coolest thing when it comes to Coach Slay is the fact that he also went to Penn, and he's a two-time national finalist for us. I mean, well, obviously Olympic champ too. So, his name is up on the board there, and he earned it, or our coach like to say, he earned his chops right where we're working too. So every day you come into practice and you get to see someone who became the best in the world training in the same room that you're training in now. So it's pretty inspiring just to know that like he could do it, so could we. So, and I think that's pretty cool. Also, our head coach went to Penn too. So just knowing that, you can be successful at Penn and seeing real examples every single day, it's awesome to have. And I think that rubs off on like all the guys.
I think one of the biggest things people want to know about is like, you wrestle at an Ivy League school. It's obviously going to be a bit different than normal school. I know one of your teammates, I want to say Kelly Dunyan.
Kelly.
Yeah, I know.
Kelly?
Yeah, I'm from Jersey.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, South Brunswick.
Where are you from?
South Brunswick. Yeah, we're not that good, but yeah, he follows me on TikTok. I see all his day in the life videos of a college wrestler. Yeah. So, what's your schedule kind of like? Because I know it's like obviously more crammed than normal college student. I'm out here waking up at like 1 p.m. on some days. Obviously you can't do that.
Yeah, nah, I mean, I think anywhere you go, like it's more about like what you put in, like, yeah, you go to an Ivy League school and everyone thinks it's so hard or whatever, but like you could also just dog it. You know what I mean? So like, it's kind of the work that you put in yourself. And I mean, I like to think I'm a pretty hard worker, so that wouldn't be myself, but it's like, it almost falls on you, not really like where you are. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like you could, I mean, I don't want to say like a bad school, but you could go to a school that maybe doesn't have as serious academics, but you could still like study your balls off and you're working harder than someone who goes to a better academic school. So I think it's about like how you push yourself. But I mean, just in terms of like schedule, yeah, it's pretty busy, wake up in the morning, go to my classes, and then, don't get back until late, and I'm just beat. But like, it's like a rewarding type of challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like going off his videos, the ones he posts, it's like he'll wake up at like 6:30, sometimes you have practice in the morning, 2 days in the off season sometimes. And he's back at his gym like 10 o'clock, like doing that, I want to say day in and day out. And, I'm not sure if you guys have practice on like Saturdays and Sundays, but even with that, like, don't you ever just feel like completely burnt out, or like, how do you overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel burnt out at times, but I think that's when that's where like communication comes into play, because I have a pretty close relationship with my coaches, which I'm like super grateful for. And like, so you're talking like burnt out and stuff. Like, I'm not afraid to go up to my coaches and tell them like, yo, I feel like beat today or something like that. And like, they're like, all right, well, let's cool it down a little, or the other way around, where I'm like, hey, I want to go. I want to do some more live. I don't want to do this and this. And it's like, all right, yeah. So I think that that's like communication. And I'm super lucky to have the coaches that I have now. I mean, they're like more, they're a lot more than just coaches to me. And like, they've helped me so much in life that I'm not really like afraid to talk to them about serious type stuff, or like, have deep talks with them. So I would say that's where the coaches come in and help. So no, I mean, yeah, I feel burnt out, but not for long periods of time, because we address it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So a little thing we didn't talk about is your high school career. You went to Westfield, New Jersey. I want to say you placed
Sir.
your first 2 years, second 2 years you didn't wrestle.
I I I didn't place my freshman year,
Yeah.
and then I placed my sophomore and junior
Okay.
year,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I didn't wrestle at all my senior year.
Was your senior year the where it was at Phillipsburg?
No, 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 no.
No. Okay. Yeah.
It was still an AC. I was just injured for the
Okay.
season.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wait. So your
See,
class is
yeah,
2020. Okay. Yeah.
I
'Cause
graduated in
that's
2020. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're in the same grade because it said something weird on the site. All right.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
what on our roster, or
oh no, Derek made a list. No, never mind. That's fine. Yeah, we're
Derek?
good.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I copy and pasted your roster, so
That's fine.
whatever it said, it's what's on the Google Doc.
Because it's like weird, because we didn't like have a season last year, so
Yeah,
it's like
Yeah,
that's kind of why.
the dates are messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it
that's
said
why like
anything about a red shirt.
everyone's like, oh, like freshman, but it's like, yeah, I guess it was my first year competing, but I'm also like, it's my second year of doing school,
Yeah,
so it's
I
like
think
it's a little weird.
eligibility rules are just kind of weird. I think because like I want to say, is it all Ivy leagues where you can't redshirt, or is it just like Cornell?
Yeah, no, and all Ivies you can't
Yeah.
redshirt.
Do you know why that is, or is it just something they just had in place?
I mean,
I feel like
I,
they
I,
want
I
to.
honestly, what'd you say?
Yeah, I feel like they just want to get you a 4-year degree, like in and out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so it's like what we have. You were talking about Cornell. We have guys that do this too, like take gap years,
Mhm.
but so like you're not taking class. You know what I mean? So like the difference between a red shirt and a gap year, red shirt, you're able to take class, versus gap year, you'd probably like, I don't know, get like an internship or get a job and then train. So it's a little different, but like I think more Ivy League schools are starting to use the gap year to their advantage.
Yeah, so like how Cornell has where they send the guys to Finger Lakes.
Yeah,
Do
they
you
do
guys have
Finger
one of
Lakes.
those?
No, so like I think what Cornell does, I mean, I could be wrong, but like I think they just have like they have like the incoming freshmen do gap years like right away, as opposed to, I mean, we do have people that take gap years like before they go in, but also like we'll have guys that like will do like 2 years and then take a gap year. And like, so what we'll do is like, we have the PRTC. So they're able to just train with the PRTC all the time. And so like we had guys on gap, we had like 4 or 5 guys on gap year this year. And so like 2 times a week they would practice, with us every day. And then on the other days they would go with the PRTC, like senior level practices. So that's kind of how our gap year works.
Okay.
so
Yeah.
what do you think in your personal, experiences? What's the difference, in the levels of practice between your normal college practice and the RTC practice? What are your differences there?
So like our practices in season versus the RTC practices.
Yeah.
I think so our practices in season compared to like, let's say a summer RTC practice, it's like more what's the word, like instruction, or like drills almost, like, whereas maybe an RTC practice there would be a lot more sparring and a lot more like open time for you to kind of work on it yourself, whereas like maybe like a practice in season, we'll do like 5 minutes this drill, 5 minutes that drill. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
our practices in season had a little bit more structure, which I don't enjoy as much. But
No.
they're good. I mean, sometimes like you need the fast pace and you know what I mean? That more intense, more intensity with your drilling. But yeah. And also so like you were asking about like the RTC practices versus the Penn practices, like they kind of get like intertwined a little bit too. You know what I mean? So like the senior level guys, like we'll still practice with them, and it's like even like we'll go to practice and it's like, wait, is this an RTC practice or a Penn practice? So it's kind of like all the same, which is like pretty cool. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, we've been asking pretty much everybody we've had on like lately this question. Why did you choose Penn? What stood out to you? What was so special that you knew you had to go to Penn?
Yeah, definitely probably the coaches and the coaching staff. Like when Coach, I don't know if you know Coach Roger Reyna or at all or no, but he was a coach, and like he just presented the vision that he had for the program, and like not a lot of other schools that I talked to like had the long plan that he did. It was almost like my visits at Penn compared to my visits at other school were just much more like focused, and like when I chose to go to Penn, it's like I knew what I was signing up for, and like I wanted to be a part of something special. And almost I think I chose Penn because I knew it was going to be like the biggest challenge. It was almost like I didn't want to look back in like 5 years and be like, oh damn, I'm kind of a pussy for not going to Penn, because I knew that this place would like challenge me the most on the mat, off the mat. So that was why. And I mean, I could kind of tell my story about wrestling in college and just like the recruiting. My coaches probably don't even know this because not something you would want to tell them as you're being recruited, but I didn't really know if I wanted to wrestle or not when I was in high school, because I just felt like burnt out of the sport and just like I wasn't enjoying it anymore. And I just go to practice just to cut weight. I didn't really think about trying to get better at wrestling. And then, I started talking to some schools and like started talking to some, good academic schools. And then I was basically just like, all right, shit, I guess I have to wrestle. Right. Right. Cause I was like, all right, I could use wrestling to get me into schools that I probably wouldn't be able to get into otherwise. And now like, it's crazy to think that I wasn't going to wrestle in college, because I couldn't imagine my life without it now. And I love like practicing now. I love getting better, and I love like the sport as a whole. And I think the reason why my mindset kind of flipped was missing my senior year, tearing my knee and my ACL, just like having that time off, just lit like a new fire under me, gave me a new perspective. And I think just made me like grateful. I think before, my freshman, sophomore, junior year of high school, I was just really like ungrateful for like, I was taking a lot of stuff for granted. All these great coaches I had, all this great support I had, I wasn't appreciative of it. And now I think I'm just like, every day I think of like how lucky I am to be to have the support system I have now. So yeah, that was kind of a long story, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Who was in your weight your senior? What weight were you senior of high school? 32, right?
Yeah, 32.
So that was Oliveri and Sedina.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Oliveri.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
that was a good match. It was just like kind of boring, but it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
I remember the one
But, I mean,
situation where they both ended up with each other's legs, like in the air.
yeah, I don't remember the match exactly, but
Yeah.
like I feel like a lot of finals matches can be like boring because like
Yeah,
the guys are just like so tight. It's like I'm sure that like that Oliveri Sedania match, I don't remember it exactly, but like I'm sure like they were tight, like nervous wrestling, just because like it's a state finals. So.
yeah. It came down to I think a ride out, and like when you watch what's its name, Dean Peterson wrestle every time, like he's never putting up points with that. I remember every one of his. You ever see Dean Peterson's final matches?
Yeah, he beat me in 1 year.
Nah, he did. I think I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's massive, dude. I didn't bring it up. He brought it up. I'm just saying.
Exposed.
He finally cut his hair though, so.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it was
I
like
haven't
down to here.
I haven't seen Dean in a while. I know he's at Rutgers. I think he's on red shirt.
Yeah,
Right?
he's probably on red shirt. I don't know why he didn't go to Princeton, but why he didn't stay at Princeton. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm
Talk
not
about.
sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it probably has to do
No.
with glory, but
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I feel like another thing we got to touch on is your guys' incoming recruiting class.
no, I was gonna
You
say
guys
stacked.
got the hammers coming in.
It's the movement.
Christian
Yeah.
Carroll,
Those are
Martin
those are the
Cosgrove.
homies. Yeah, Martin. Yeah, Christian's a junior in
Yeah,
high
that's
school.
true.
Actually.
He's
pretty
massive.
crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
But,
gonna be
yeah,
a solid
Martin-
heavyweight.
Yeah, for sure. Martin's coming in on next year, and like, what's cool about Martin is like, it's almost like he's on the team now because he's always training at the PRTC. So it's like he's already one of the boys, and he's coming in and like gonna get after it. So it's gonna be sick. And then who else? And then, I mean, we got some more St. Ed's boys coming, more Del Barton boys. So like kind of building some pipelines with schools. Blair too. So I mean, like kids coming from great programs, they know how to build a championship culture. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Did you see Martin's state final match this year?
No, because like we were where were we? We were at EIWA's.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it was
so like they
wild.
had it on. They had it
Yeah.
on, but like actually like I do remember like warming up while they're like wrestling. So like yes, I was watching it, but I didn't want to like I couldn't put like too much energy into it or else I would have like, you know what I mean? I had to save it, but like yeah, that was pretty sick. 2-time
Yeah.
state champ.
I got to go down to Lang City for that. It was hype. I think it was
Oh,
it was a
really?
super matchup too with PJ Casal.
With PJ, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
think
would have
they-
loved to go to AC,
Yeah.
but I mean, we were at conference championships.
Yeah, it was interesting this year. I mean, the first year back in AC, they didn't give me a media pass. To kind of just like snuck into the back with Jim Mullen, and they didn't say
Oh,
anything.
to get like interviews and stuff.
Yeah, the one interview is on my YouTube. I think
Really?
yeah.
Why did they give you a media pass?
You know, I was talking to one of the Bergen Catholic coaches. I don't know if I can say names on here, but like apparently I had to like register like 2 weeks before, which I never did. So yeah.
Don't worry.
It's like
Don't worry.
these people don't really know. Like they probably have all these other like media guys for some like bum ass like news stations, but like you guys get way more like. I feel like old people don't realize like that you guys have like a lot of clout.
Listen, man. I do it day in and day out, reaching out to these companies for sponsorships. These old people got no clue what we're about. I sent
know.
emails. I'm like, man, we get over 1 million monthly views across all platforms. Like, come
I love
on.
your guys' account.
I'm
Yeah,
19.
what'd you say?
19.
I'm
You guys are
19.
Yeah, your guys' account is pretty awesome. Like
Yeah.
I see all that shit.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I think like honestly, like a lot of my teammates, like I told them I was going on. They're like, oh shit, like I follow that account too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
everyone follows.
that's what everybody says. Like even like a lot of my college teammates, like they didn't even know that I was like involved in this. Like they had no
Really?
clue. So then I'm like, oh, like I'm like he's tagging me in posts. They're like, why are you getting like tagged in posts? I'm like, because I am half of this. This is half
it's
me.
It's just you two.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I might
You
hire
guys
some
have any,
people.
like- What'd you
Yeah,
say?
we're
No,
gonna start.
I
probably-
want to hear what you said first. What'd you say?
No, I was just gonna ask if you guys have any like long term like type like vision like
Yeah,
National.
I think so.
We
I mean,
want to. We think if we grow enough, like in this 1 year, so from this year's nationals, and then right when next year's nationals in Tulsa, our goal is to go to nationals and get media passes and do live interviews after nationals.
No, I mean
That's
Yeah,
probably
so-
our biggest goal.
yeah.
like oh dude, I'm sure you guys could. You guys
I
could
think
do
if
that.
we talk to somebody like either like a coach of a team and somebody like all we need is to get pointed in the right direction, and I think we'd be good to go. Because like you
Yeah.
said, like a lot of these guys doing media coverage are like the college's newspaper that like
Yeah.
like the professors read. Like
Yeah.
they get so much more coverage from us. Like if we were there, like
Yeah.
taking pictures and doing live interviews and getting live clips, like
Yeah.
we could pump out 100 150 live interviews in the 3 days that we're there. So I don't know. That's like probably our one goal. At least go. We at least want to go because we figure if we could go and we're in Tulsa and we're at the tournament, we could figure out a way to get interviews with people.
Yeah.
Whether it
That'd
be
be
they
pretty
come
cool.
up in the stands or they figure out a way to get us down there. We figure we could get it done.
Yeah. That's
So-
pretty cool too. It just shows that it's like just like two kids, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
He
since
was-
you're in the EIWA, right? Of course, the EIWA is cutting ties with Flow next year after this season. So, I mean, for next year, you won't have them. Say if it's
by the EIWA.
within the reason to like get the streaming rights to it.
You guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably not this year, but if somebody signs
be
like a 1 year
honest,
deal,
I think we have a ESPN Plus deal because even though we're EIWA and like they have a deal with Flow, like our only match that was on Flow was was Lehigh because like the Ivy League has a deal with ESPN Plus. So like for example, like our match versus like Columbia like isn't on Flow. It's just on
Okay.
ESPN Plus.
yeah, so I'm screwed then.
So yeah, I'm not sure
That's tough.
how that works.
That was the goal.
But-
We're gonna buy the EIWA.
You think a
Yeah.
solid like 10 grand for a season for just like one team
I
streaming rights?
I honestly like I have no idea. I would be very curious to see like
We
How
could
much?
cover all
Because-
Penn streaming, just Penn.
Might have
Yeah.
to. I don't know.
like
Get,
I don't want to like disrespect our team or like whatever, but it's like I can't imagine we're bringing in like crazy like
Yeah,
numbers, right? You know,
because I
You
know
know what I mean?
what's it called? The Big Ten cut ties with
it's just
Flow
wrestling.
back in 2020 because Penn State started pulling in like crazy numbers, and this is when like Iowa brought in like like Cassiope and all those guys, and they're
Yeah.
pulling in like 10 times what Flow was paying for him.
Because Flow, the thing about Flow, like sometimes I actually prefer like ESPN Plus to Flow just because
Yeah.
like a lot of my like non-wrestling friends like don't have Flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like you got to pay 150 for the year
Yeah,
versus it's like
I still
my
think it should be a
non-wrestling
monthly
friend.
payment. Monthly
Yeah,
full
no.
payment.
I don't understand why they don't have a monthly option.
see, in all fairness, right? Like you've seen like these events they put on, right? Like how much do you think it costs to get Jordan Burroughs to wrestle David Taylor in an event,
A lot.
right?
Wait,
And this is what I'm saying, right?
You actually mean how much do I think like if Flow were to make an event, what would JB?
No, they had the event where Jordan Burroughs versus David Taylor.
Yeah.
They have to pay
Yeah.
both of them to come. They have to set up the venue, and they have to pay for
Hotels, all
like
that.
yeah, and like that adds up too. It's like
Like that Rudis card, that must no shot they made.
Rudis has. I think it's a contract thing because Snyder, Cox are all sponsored athletes,
Oh, okay, yeah,
and I know
So,
they're
yeah,
giving
they
out
probably-
free tickets.
yeah. So like in their contract, they probably have like will do
Competition,
2
yeah.
events or some
Yeah.
shit.
Something like that, but they Snyder's
Did you
been
guys watch
sponsored.
that?
Yeah, they didn't invite me. Like, what a dick. Like,
So you
'Cause
didn't
apparently-
watch it? Or
no, I did watch it. I was gonna illegally stream it, but I can't do that for legal reasons.
We
I
were
feel
not
like-
gonna illegally stream it. I promise.
I feel like Rudis would be the one company to get on my ass for that.
for illegal issue, you get like
Yeah.
arrested.
Probably not. But like I
Wait,
spent,
so I didn't really watch it. I mean, I watched the first bit of it, but then like we had to weigh in the next day,
Yeah.
so I didn't like watch the whole thing. How like was it? Because the part that I was watching, it was a little bit like it was just like so long in between matches.
yeah.
Like it was. Did you guys like it?
No, it was okay. I mean, I was just kind of sitting here posting on Instagram like I always do.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah.
I gotta watch it on my laptop, have all the pics
Yeah.
ready, post them like 10 seconds before the match is done.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing, right? Because you know how like if you post something like when Gable left his shoes out on the mat, if I posted that 10 seconds after, I got 165 likes in 26 seconds
versus if you
versus
post it-
normally like maybe 100 likes in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But then once the
That's
bigger
something-
media outlets get to it, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
It's
I
not
want
even
to
worth
say
it for me
that
to
post.
Yeah.
That post
yeah.
hit like 1,000 in like what 5 minutes, 6
yeah,
minutes.
something like it was
1,000 likes?
wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was following because you guys were posting story updates for like the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And then you guys were posting Gable's match. He got taken down. And then you're like, he's taking control now. And then I was like, yo, what happened in this match? Because
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
say it, but then he
I think
ended up winning.
Yeah, I think that's something people get pissed about. But like, so if Gable
What?
gets taken down in a match, you know how big of a name that is. Like,
Yeah.
right.
No, that's, I mean,
like even if it's at the end of the match, all of Gable's move, that's gonna be moved to the first clip. Because they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh shit, Gable got
Business.
taken down. I'm gonna watch the rest of it. See if you get taken
Yeah.
down
The
again.
business side. Nobody gets it. Like, I feel like people think we like don't like people because we post like clips of them losing or like clips getting them taken down. It's all about the business. Like we have no problem with anybody, but
business is
it
booming.
is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
We got to do what we
So-
got to do.
Yeah. You guys feel like there's not like competition, but like who are like, what would you say some similar accounts are? Like, you know, that account Wrestler Grind?
Yeah, I
You know
feel
what that
like
is?
we're hitting different
I follow them.
demographics. Like I know the dude I talked to him, but I'm pretty sure like money wise, we're pulling in like 10 times what they are.
Who, wait, Wrestler Grind?
Wrestlers Grind, Obsessed Wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
But
sure
they just
the
don't
only-
post as much. They don't
I think
post as
we're
much.
like, and that's the thing is like, if all of us talk, like we've talked to pretty much everybody that does the same thing we do.
Yeah.
You know, I think podcast wise, our biggest competition is probably Bash. Just because
Yeah.
he gets worldly guests. Like
Yeah.
this guy I have David Taylor and somebody else on, and then we were talking to like all.
CJ
I think
Boston.
where we miss where we miss the recognition is a lot of
Like,
people
oh,
appreciate our page because we touch on every level of wrestling. D1,
Yeah,
D2, D3, NAIA, NCWA, like we cover all of it. Like we talk to national champs from D2, D3, and NCWA, NAIA. Like we're talking to guys that, to be fair, nobody knows who these people are.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, we're mixing in D1 All-Americans, D1 national runner-ups, D1 national champs, guys who wrestled in the Olympics, who are on the world team. Like it just depends. It depends on the week. We could pump out 10 videos in a week, and half of them are D1 guys. We have a couple high schoolers that are state champs. Like we're shedding light to everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that's what everyone like kind of comes to us. And at the same time, we're covering every major wrestling event that's going on. We're doing live coverage of all of that. Like I feel like we definitely put in the most work. We 100%, he's had countless sleepless nights in a row during nationals. This kid didn't sleep at all. He did not have
like
a
last
minute
week?
sleep.
Oh, you should
Yeah.
see me during the Olympics. I stayed
The
awake
Olympics?
for 58 hours straight.
58 hours.
Because it's like weird ass times too when the
Yeah,
matches.
and like I have this coffee maker right here. This almost like started overheating. It was bad.
Because you were just sipping on coffee.
I went through like 30 cups of coffee in like 2 days. And like I probably shouldn't be saying this on air, but like I was still going out partying at night because nothing was going on.
Yeah.
Like you just see me walking around, sipping on juice and just like throughout the streets, like 3 a.m. walk back to my room to walk the
He was
Olympics.
not sipping on juice.
You
Anybody
pull up
watching?
like to the bar, like with your laptop, you're like watching.
I mean,
the
I'm
match.
19. I can't exactly do that, but
Oh, okay, yeah.
we're just like at people's house and stuff. So
Heavyweight Nation does not promote underage drinking or underage consumption of alcohol.
yeah, we're not gonna act like
Okay.
nobody does it though. So
Yeah.
I should take that.
He's
compliment.
like, yo, where's my mom at?
My mom
Where-
watched
wait, where are you guys?
videos all the way through. We're both in our dorms.
yeah,
Okay, fine. Nice.
I hate this school, but
I
Really?
tell you, transfer to my school would make everything so much easier.
it would
What'd
not.
you say?
I'm about to drop
I
out,
said,
dude.
I'm gonna tell him, transfer to my school. It'll make everything so much easier. Like it's a 2-hour drive from each other. Like transfer over here. We could both bunk up in the wrestling house. We'll be good to
You
go.
could do you could do in person.
Yeah.
No, I'll think about it. I don't know, man.
Just
You guys like make money from your stuff? or-
Yeah, like a lot. I mean, he only
Yeah.
runs a podcast.
That's
we're
a
not
lot.
gonna cap. It's but then we have to factor in everything we spend money on too.
Yeah.
Well, what do you make money on?
I mean,
Everything.
Instagram ads.
Wait, but how do you
Motion.
make money? What do you mean? Like, I'm
Merchandise.
Somebody
actually
wants-
asking for.
Yeah, if somebody wants me to post something on my story or my feed, I'll charge them a certain rate for that, depending on like how long they want me to keep the post up for. Whether it's them sending me music to use on one of my reels or my TikTok videos, the TikTok pays through the creator fund. The
You guys
sponsorship
check
we
out
just
TikTok?
announced.
Yeah,
Actually,
sponsorship.
I gotta check out your TikTok. I don't.
Yeah, we have a 100K on TikTok too, by the way.
Because TikTok you could grow, right? Like
Yeah. I think it's hard for wrestling because all the comments you get when the post was up is like this shit's
Wrestling's
gay and all
gay.
that. Yeah.
yeah.
And like I can't delete those because that's just gonna stop my account from growing because I'm getting paid from that.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean that I'm sure people commenting like wrestling is gay like
Yeah.
helps because like they're still
Oh yeah,
definitely.
nah.
Like-
Then there's arguments in the comments. It's great.
Yo, you guys, I mean, no disrespect, but you guys see the Ridge love it shit.
I
We
thought
love
so.
Yo,
it. We
people
love
are
it.
coming. No, I love him too. Like he's great. I love watching him wrestle. But like people are coming at him.
Oh
for
yeah.
that shit.
I don't think he
No.
cares, dude. It's like
No, I don't think
Now
he does.
we talked to Christian Lance, and he was just like, "That's just who Ridge Lovett is. Like
He's
he's
just like-
just
Just a
goofy."
dog.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but to
Yeah,
answer
he's-
that
he-
question, it's like in the
Can't
five
find.
figures probably.
A month?
Nah, I wish. Not yet.
not yet.
Oh, you
Yeah,
mean like in total?
Yeah. I mean like yearly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I'm 19. I'm pretty
Not
sure
bad
we'll
for two
hit
19-year-old kids, you know.
we'll be
We're working.
hitting at least like 300K by time I graduate.
You guys are gonna start competing with Flow. Like you're gonna have your own platform.
I'm cool with them. I'm not trying to do
Yeah,
all
we're-
that. Like,
Well, we love you because if they really wanted to, not gonna lie, they could ruin us. Because we have a
Why?
lot of
Their
flow
videos,
material
yeah.
that we have borrowed from them and repurposed into our own material.
Yeah. So what's the deal with that? You guys posting like clips?
oh, so I talk to them a lot. I'm not sure if they want me telling you this, but like they just like, okay, just tag us because they have so
Yeah.
much content. It's not like we're gonna like everybody's going back to the archives on their site, right?
Yeah.
So if I post it as you tag them, we're giving you free exposure, right? So typically for
Yeah, yeah.
advertisers, say like 100 likes is normally worth like $20 on Instagram.
100 likes. What do you mean?
Like if my post gets 100 likes, and somebody would typically pay that person like $20 for an advertisement on their page. And my posts on average, like they can get from, obviously the not good ones do like 400, and I had a post hit 400,000 recently. So
Yeah. And then what about a real post versus story? Real post is like way more, right? It's gotta be.
yeah, a real post is definitely more. Stories like maybe I'll charge you $5-10. If I know you, I'll do it for $5. But
If I know you, I'll do. If not,
yeah,
fine.
it's like if I have like you have to think about this. Like the thing that I've got the most out of like running this page is definitely my connections, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
Mm,
always like
yeah,
if
yeah.
somebody wants me to do something for them, if somebody wants me to post something on my story once, I'll charge them $10, right? If they're like, hey, I'll come to you every week, like for a year, that's 52 times, I'll charge them $5, and I'm making more even though I'm charging less with no real effort
Yeah,
on my
yeah.
part.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the principle behind that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Though.
And then now we're just kind of grinding. I've been sending out tons of business emails. I really honestly feel like we're at that level now where we could get some solid sponsorships. Like I said, we're racking in. To be fair, I lowball us high. I lowball us heavy. Whenever I send a business email, I said you're gonna get the minimum is 1 million views per month minimum. Now over nationals, across all
everything?
platforms. In nationals, the first 3 days nationals combined just on TikTok, we did 2.5 million in 3 days.
It's a lot more than that. 'Cause you have to count the rollback views, but
Yeah.
thinking around a month is normally like 25 million views across platforms.
Yeah.
That's all. Nationals is big. Great.
Yeah, I think the Olympics went crazy, but they just kept copywriting everything. So it was just
one thing
posts.
about wrestling NCAs and stuff, and it's like, damn, like I never knew how many people don't follow the season previously, but then they know what happens.
Yeah.
I think it's
Like,
similar to like all sports because who's watching like the entire like 80+ game stretch of the NBA season?
Yeah, no.
But who's
For the
watching the
MLB,
playoffs?
100 and some change
Yeah.
games in the MLB.
I think football is the biggest one, right? Like if you look at how much advertising is actually spent on things like that, like who actually follows it. No, I'm saying like the Super Bowl in general. Like
Oh yeah.
that's
yeah.
probably the biggest advertising slot throughout the year. And that's kind of a huge thing. What's your major? I'm kind of curious now.
Political science.
It's kind of assumed like you were like a business major.
Yeah, I thought you were a business major. You're throwing all of these things. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Nah, I mean,
This is
I
cool.
do,
I feel like this we
I
went
do like
very off
business.
topic, not gonna lie. But I feel like, this is kind of a little bit of insight into us, that a lot of people don't
Yeah.
really get to hear about. Because
No,
to be
I like
fair,
business too.
yeah.
I wasn't a high enough recruit to get into business school. Maybe I had to win a couple state titles and then I could have got in.
Yeah,
So,
but no, yeah, we're grinding. We're grinding. And that's the great thing is we're both so young. Like we have so much time before things really get real and like our real lives start. And I'm confident by then that this will be able to be
did you guys go to
kinda.
high school together? Or
No.
like, what?
I'm from PA. He's from Jersey.
So this is
How'd-
probably like the
how'd-
most random story possible. Like I started this page my junior year of high school. Like I had a free period. I see everybody starting like meme pages. DeSanto 133 that did. I'm like,
Yeah,
I see this like all these old pages. I'm like, I'm gonna start the page, the heavyweight memes. And I spelled weight wrong in that. And it was like a week before I realized, changed to the heavyweight memes afterwards. And I'm just like posting like 20, 30 just random like memes made with like meme tick, like with the crappy watermark on it a day. And then I changed to Heavyweight Nation of like 9,000 to like rebrand it. And then there come like all the other platforms. I start this podcast because I'm like, I have nothing better to do during COVID.
Yeah.
I just started hitting, I put something on my story. Anybody wants to come on this podcast? I'm pretty sure like 3 of the kids weren't even wrestlers. There's like random people I knew. We were just like, it was like the most random bullshit for like 2 hours, just sitting on a Zoom call and then I upload it, like not cropping anything up or doing anything. And then he came on one day and then he was like, can I run this podcast with you? And I was like, yeah. And then 90 episodes later, here we are.
Yeah. Almost 2 years. No, fun fact. You claim we haven't known each other for 2 years, but my episode came out March 16th of 2020. It is March 27th. We've known each other for 2 full years.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, have you guys ever met in person though?
No.
No shot.
No shot. We've never met in person.
We'll see each other at the dual meet when I tech him.
Wait,
Not
you guys have actually never met in person, but you've
No.
known each other for 2 years.
That's crazy. I think about it.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, and our claim to fame is that we will wrestle each other because we're both PSAC Division II colleges. So we will actually wrestle each other.
That'd be sick.
He claims he's gonna tech me, but
Yo, that's
I
how
claim it's not gonna happen.
dude, that's how Zoom is, because it's like you guys had online class on Zoom for a while. It's like you know that you're in class with these people, and then like you see them, but you're like, wait, like I don't really know you, but like I know we had a class, but like we never talked or anything.
Yeah.
It's like shit. Am I supposed to say hi to you, or like you just keep walking? Or...
I think we're definitely gonna make some trips this summer. To definitely meet up this summer. Definitely.
Yeah, bro. You guys should do some content for the PRTC.
Really? If you can, send that to one of your higher
get
ups,
us in contact. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I mean,
serious.
like, what would you guys want to do?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Just talk to people. I just kind of come to the realization. I know like the wrestling changed my life, dude. Ryan Warner was around there for a bit, filming the Slang Satia documentary.
Yeah. I
actually do a couple things for him, but he has like half the following that I have, right? But is Jordan Burroughs going to waste his time talking to a random 19-year-old?
No, Jordan Burroughs, most down to earth, humble dude. Like
he won't answer my DMs.
I mean,
really?
he won't see him. That's the thing.
Listen,
he probably doesn't see him.
This is why we love talking to these guys like you, because we love talking. We love giving you some hype, giving you some clout, but then we also love because now you're in. Now you're in the PRTC. So you chat up Joey McKenna for us. Tell him about us. Tell him we're some great dudes. We're on a mission. Let him know what we're about. And then we have Joey McKenna on. And then, we talk to your coach a little bit. We chat, figure out some numbers, figures out some things, we could do. We'll stop by the PRTC, not too far away from where I'm at school.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly, I want to say like probably an hour away from you guys, if that.
Yeah. You guys can train.
Yeah.
I'm always down to roll. I roll. If we're in the off season, I've been rolling like every day this week so far.
Little Matt Rat.
Yeah.
So I had a question for you, right? It's like the most out there thing, right? You take Carter Storaci versus, let's say, an 0-2 in Nationals Division I heavyweight. who wins that match.
So like Carter Starachi versus someone who go.
Assuming
Like,
Carter
like-
Starachi is like 180, like how much he is wrestling on the mat. Not like in the off season, because right, I have a couple comments saying if
Yeah.
Carter Starachi bulks, he would All American heavy. I'm like, he probably weighs like 210 at that point. So
Carter Starachi versus. See, like now I'm going off of because like I see Mark Hall wrestle with our heavyweights and like he could beat them.
I mean, Mark Cole's older than Starachi though.
Yeah.
Talent,
Fun
I don't
fact.
want to say it, but I was looking.
Yeah,
at
no,
Starachi wins that
honestly,
match.
I don't think I think Starachi would have a hard time.
Yeah.
To be
Fun
honest.
fact,
I think
I've wrestled Mark
If
Hall.
if he had to like make
Not fun.
174 and then wrestle.
Yeah,
But if he like if he weighed like 200 pounds, I think
Yeah.
he could win.
Yeah. Fun fact, I could vouch for Mark Hall. I wrestled Mark Hall before and it was not fun.
Oh, he's a fucking dog. He's he's low. He's a little underrated too. I feel like
yeah,
like
I know.
he's kind because 86 kilo. You got like David Taylor.
yeah.
I mean, even like Zahid, like in terms of the internet, they've had like more success on the international stage. But like Mark's coming for heads. I'm telling you, he's a
What were your
beast.
Oh,
thoughts
yeah.
on that Ridis match with Mark Cole and Miles Martin?
It wasn't the most like entertaining
Yeah.
match, but I know like Mark was in on a ton of shots, just was having like trouble finishing. It was actually funny because like that's what we were doing in practice this week, working on finishes because that's what Mark needed to work on. So we all were just working on it. But yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I think it's so cool that you guys get to like be in the room with those guys. I feel like that's so like influential on your program. Like especially bringing in recruits. Like if you could bring in a recruit and say every single day almost you're gonna see Jordan Burroughs in the wrestling room.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get to roll around Jordan Burroughs. You're gonna get to roll around Jordan McKenna, McFadden, Hall. Like it's the same thing like Penn State does. You bring a Penn State kid, a recruit that Penn State wants into that room, and they see all those guys in their training center as well, a wrestling club. Like you can't like there's no. I think to be honest, Penn and Penn State have probably two of the best like RTC / wrestling clubs in the country.
You could say they are the best, honestly. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think those are the two best.
Yeah.
I think those are the two best.
What I say is like I think the only two Ivy League teams that I truly like put in actual effort to follow. Like obviously I run the page, so I have to follow everything. Like I have all the Twitter feeds lined up, but they would be Cornell and Penn, obviously, because right, you guys recruit massively out of Jersey, so I'm already familiar with that. I see all the recruitment pictures on my things coming up. I think Nico Nardone committed there too. I think
My
he's
boy.
on. Is he wrestling yet, or is he on?
He's
on.
Gap. He's on a gap year right
Yeah.
now. He's wrestling. Though.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people tend to forget about guys after they do that. So that's kind of maybe a small problem. Because I know when Fernandez had that crazy senior year of his pinning literally everyone, everybody forgets about him. Makes the blood run this year.
Yeah,
The Stanley
he
Stack weight
is
class too. And then you have Yanni's little brother coming up and all that, and Vito, and them guys.
Yeah.
And then
I
your
don't think
team-
people realize like how deep like a lot of teams are. I mean, we got guys like third string, fourth string guys that would like they're dogs. You know what I mean? Like everyone's just a beast. That's how it is.
Could I borrow a couple of those to take to my college? Just a couple.
A couple what?
Can I borrow a couple of those third and fourth strings to come to my school? We're lacking.
You need
man.
them, bro.
I need anything I could get.
Yeah. Only 10 people get to wrestle, but or got an army behind them. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. So I think we might as well just hop right into the
All right,
fun
let's start this
question,
off.
that we ask everybody that comes on the show. Kind of wind down the show, close it up, get everyone's mind off of wrestling, even though our minds really weren't on wrestling for the last half hour, but that's okay. So I'll let you take it away. You can go first. I'll wrap it up.
Way too early 2023 national picks.
And don't feel like a douchebag. You're allowed to pick yourself. It's okay.
I think everyone's done that.
Wait, you want me to pick the winners at
National.
each week?
Yes.
Next season, national winners.
Well, it's kind of hard though because I got my teammates. Like I'm just gonna pick them.
Listen.
If they're in the top 10, pick them. I'll give you that.
All right. Yo, well now I don't want to disrespect because they still gotta win the starting like spot. You know what I'm saying? but like Ryan Miller, 125 champ. Mike Kolioko, 133 champ. CJ Composto, 141 champ. Anthony Artelona, 149 champ. Doug Zapp, 157 champ. Lucas Ravana, champ, 165. Nick and Conchera, champ at 174. 184. Our guy's
Ravana's up at
graduating.
65.
Yeah, he was 165.
God damn, I mean, got big.
So we'll say Aaron Brooks, 184. Just because I don't know who,
We
I don't know.
We have a
You guys
non-vet
are going
guy.
to graduate. I'm just going off of our lineup this year. Cole Urbis, 197. Ben Golden, heavyweight. Yeah. Those are my boys. I can't go against. the
No,
boys.
that's fine. I respect it.
You heard it here first. Penn's gonna win 9 of 10.
Well, I would have said 184 too, but like my guy Neil's graduating, so I don't know. Like, I don't know who's going to start it anyway for us. Obviously, we have super competitive wrestle-offs, but
listen, I feel like you're a
can just go
lock.
off.
You gotta be a lock. You gotta be a lock. You can't be worried about wrestle-offs, bro.
No, I'm telling you, man, we got some dogs in that.
All right,
in the ring.
it's my
Genuinely
turn.
though, looking at 141, like if you just like put some things together, you could very well win that weight class.
Thank you. I'll try.
Because like I'm not gonna just sit here and just like lie just because you're on the podcast, but like obviously this year I thought you could place.
Yeah.
But then you have Nick Lee, who I don't think anybody's beating, Rivera, Ironman. Those guys are all gone,
Yeah.
right? It's like
That old man, he's gone too.
Yeah.
9-year
Years.
senior.
It's
Congratulations.
like who's coming back? Like, what is it, like Cole Matthews?
Stanford kid did call me up, but yeah.
We'll just
I don't know
toss
if
him on
you
the other
saw
side of the
that.
bracket and hope for the best.
Yeah. We'll make some improvements for that one.
Just
too.
throw him or something. That dude.
There's no doubt in my mind that we're gonna definitely be hearing your name quite a lot these next however many years you got left at Penn. So three more seasons. I think we definitely we could make some. You can make some big noise. So remember us when you win nationals. Our goal is for one day somebody to shout us out after their national championship interview. So if you could be that guy,
we'll clip this, and then once it happens, you could like put the clip and then the clip of me doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds good, man.
It was supposed to be Deacon, but that didn't go too well.
Yeah, we're supposed to be.
What Deacon said he was going to shout you out?
No, Deacon was on our podcast like way back. This is like episode 20. We were like, "Yo, he's supposed to win this year. Gets pinned to nationals." And then he won this year, obviously.
Yeah.
And then he unfollowed both of us. I was just like, damn.
Why?
He only followed me for like a day, I think.
I said, congrats, champ. Left me on scene. I said, hey, you want to come back on the podcast and talk? Left me on scene again. Ryan Deacon, I'm calling you out. I did it to Mason Paris last episode. I'm calling everybody out.
Damn.
I'll meet you in the wrestling room. We can talk about it.
I don't know if that's the same thing, but
He could have at least just like not read it, but he went out of his way to like
yeah.
leave you.
Nah,
on
man.
scene.
The
Oh,
worst.
no, I do that all the time. Like,
Worst
that pisses
is
me off no,
the
not
people-
even that. There'll be people that just like spam my DMs with like the most random stuff. I'm like, if you don't follow me and you ask me to post something, I'm not gonna do it. Right?
That's
And I'm just
gotta
gonna
be-
leave him on scene. Like if they start bugging me just to be like super disrespectful. Because
Yeah.
like I have no reputation to uphold, right? Like if
Yeah.
I was just like you're a Division I All-American, you just can't go out there talking shit to whoever, right? Because you go to
That's why I didn't want to
obviously.
give that's why I wasn't like trying to get my picks because I'm like,
I mean, yeah, that's just what it is. Obviously, I'm pretty sure heavyweight wouldn't be mad if you picked Gable Stevenson to win last year.
yeah.
But just looking at that, like obviously the Mason Paris situation was a little bit worse. I said the dude wasn't gonna place at nationals, and he didn't place. So how are you gonna be?
LMAO.
How are you gonna be mad at?
LMAO
He
Mason
didn't
Paris.
place. He didn't place. this
I'm
year?
talking about 2019. This was like a while back, and he didn't place. So how are you gonna be mad at me because I said you weren't gonna place and then you didn't do it? Like
He
I
was mad
said,
at you?
we asked him to come on the
you
podcast
don't know
like
about
last year. This was like a year after this happened. He texts Derek back LMAO and then just leaves us on scene.
Oh, is that why you kept saying LMAO?
This is why I've never posted a video of Mason Paris winning after that.
Never.
You
He
only
gets
post
no
him like
respect now.
I post
He
Mason
gets
Paris
stopped
versus
every
Greg
day.
Kerfleet every time.
just like in the middle of the summer, you just like randomly post like that match, like just to remind everyone.
Because I was recording, I was watching the match of Mason Paris versus your guy. You know,
versus
I
Ben.
was just hoping for an upset somewhere just to post that.
Yeah,
And then it didn't happen, so
that
I
match
just
got a
deleted the
lot.
record.
Yeah, that match got a lot of hands.
It is what it is. I mean, Paris is good, but
Paris is
there's
beast.
like, how are you gonna get mad at us? I remember I picked against Gable against Tahoe at the Olympics. Not my smartest
Gable's still
pick.
chill with us.
And then,
we're still chill with Gable.
you know, obviously I was wrong about that pick, you know, and then he gave me my shit right back on the next post. Like 10 minutes
Yeah.
after he does that, he comments on my post like, yeah, when I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. Never doubt me again.
Gable's kind of a clown like that. He's
Yeah.
always like,
He's the biggest meme. We'll post the most random thing. It'll be like favorite wrestling moment, like in a poll, and you type whatever. He'll comment random thing. Favorite wrestling show. He'll just put his little words in, but he won't come on the podcast. I've asked like 3 or 4 different times. He will not come on the podcast.
Yeah, I think the way to go about this is just get all of his teammates on.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get everybody from the Minnesota lineup but him.
I think that's
then
all right.
just gonna get him to go on.
So I'm gonna wrap it up here. You know, we are heavyweight nation. We are heavyweight nation. You know, a bunch of fat pieces of people. So, you know, we have to ask you a food question. You're walking to the Penn cafeteria. What's the first thing you're eating?
Okay, before we get into this,
Come
guys,
on.
hey. Going back to
Peanut
Kelly's
butter.
TikToks. Holy shit, your place is insane.
What is our dining hall?
Yeah.
You think it's good?
Is it not?
Compared to what we have.
I mean, shit. Is yours bad? I didn't think ours was like that.
You didn't think yours was good? Okay, never mind.
The one thing I don't like, our shit's not like a buffet, and it's like they're so stingy with it.
What do you mean?
You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's say that it's like chicken, and I'm like, yo, can I get some chicken? Give me like 2 pieces of chicken. Like, I have some more chicken. Give you like half a piece. It's like, dude, like, I need protein.
I would have launched that shit like right back over at them.
Yeah, no, it's just like the serving sizes are just so fucking small. So it's
Yeah.
really-
I mean, the
So
food,
back to
food
your-
looks decent though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean the food's all right. I like to cook too, honestly. But back to your question, probably like my favorite stuff to get from the dining hall is just like peanut butter, chocolate milk, and like ice cream.
Interesting.
So yeah. What?
Interesting. You know, my co-host over here, he's the king of stealing from his dining hall. Man is an absolute stinky fingers. As soon as he walks in that dining hall, it's game on.
Okay, so I went to Walmart last week. Like I have the money to buy my own groceries. Like,
Yeah,
but you know, if I pay for a meal plan, right, I'm gonna use it. So I decided to buy cream cheese and butter. And then I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna buy bagels. I'm just gonna take them from the dining hall.
Oh yeah.
I took like 30, like 3 days
I've been
ago.
doing that. Put hella shit in my bag.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
They don't care.
You guys remember? You guys remember when that TikTok thing? It was like the devious lick.
Yeah.
Me and my boys, we did that for like we were like just got this devious lick from the dining hall, and it was just like freezers full of like ice cream that we stole.
That's
pretty
insane.
cool.
Did you get in trouble?
And
for
then,
that?
you know,
What'd you say?
Did you get in trouble for that?
No. I mean,
listen,
I don't
you're
think
a D1 athlete. You could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That ice cream is not definitely breaking their bank. They're fine.
Some kid stole a bathroom stall door from my high school.
They got in trouble.
No, he didn't get caught. I don't know how.
Oh, that's
How do
right.
you walk a bathroom stall door out of school? Like,
Yeah.
all right. Final question. We ask this to everybody that comes on the show. It's going to be another disrespectful one to your teammates, so I apologize to the Penn wrestling team. You know, we ask it to everybody since day one. We've had guests on. You have to choose 4 of your teammates to bring with you to make a zombie apocalypse survival super squad. Who is your 4 and a short reason on each one why you chose them? 4. You could take 4 people with you.
So 4 other people for the zombie apocalypse.
Yep, on your team.
Shit.
We're not going to count the RTC because that's a cheat code. Because you could just be
Yeah.
like, Yeah, no. So just on your Penn lineup, 4 guys you can take with you, and a quick reason why each one.
All right. I think Ryan Miller,
Mhm.
125 pounder, I'll bring him. He's got a good head on his shoulders, pretty responsible. Shit. Kelly Dunnigan for entertainment. He always has good vibes. That's 2. Try to Jake Hendricks, 184 pounder, big Greco guy. He's just good with like the meats, big cooking guy. So I think he would be able to get us some food. And then my last. Okay, so I got Kelly, Miller, Hendricks. Damn, bro. Probably this kid Dante Stefanelli. You know Dante Akil?
Yeah, I did.
Delby? Yeah.
I picked him
So
to
like in
win.
case we get hungry, he's pretty fat, so we could just like
Yeah.
he would last us a while. So yeah, that's my
Yeah,
4.
Everybody takes.
Do you
the big
remember
guy.
the New Jersey
Yeah.
wrestling tournament page on Instagram?
Yeah.
I posted that was mine. I ran that when
That's
I got
him
like bored with
as
this
well.
one. So I was showing like my picks from the state tournament. This was the year Soldano won his first as a sophomore. And I was like, yeah, I didn't know who that kid was, right? I thought Matt Benedetti was gonna beat him in the semis. And then,
When Saldana versus Dante in the finals.
yeah, it was like a major too. I had Dante winning, and then I post my picks. He just swipes up, was like, sorry, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he let you down there,
Yeah.
but Saldana's a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you. I think you guys picked me or you picked me for the EIWA.
Yeah.
Yeah, let you down, man.
It's okay.
Whatever.
Next year,
It's
you got
tough,
3
man.
tries.
I'm gonna be
You're good.
completely honest. I just picked names I knew.
Yeah.
Like
Fair.
it's not the worst pick we've made. We've made some pretty rough ones on here, I want to say.
I had Gary Traub winning nationals last season. I love Gary Traub, big Gary Traub guy from Oregon State, and he was my pick last year. He was going to beat everybody, and he was going to win nationals. It didn't work out in my favor. All right,
Yeah.
well, CJ, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
No, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's an
We
honor.
look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah, better be invited on again.
Oh, we
Got
got
you.
you. You can bring your boys next.
You got to
time,
win
too.
the EIWA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
facts.
All right,
Yeah,
bet.
you can bring some of your boys on too next time.
Yeah, I will.
For sure.
Get a group of you Penn guys
Sure.
on.
For sure.
All right, so this has been episode 95 Late Night Shots. We'll see you guys again next time.